What up, y'all? Oh, shit. Let me get my microphone. I didn't put my microphone in. Let me put my mic in. Come on, Mike. Come on in here, chat room. Stand in line. Get your tickets. I hope you will attend. It'll only cost you 50 cents to see. No about it, satisfaction. So let the side show. Hurry, hurry. What's up, Kelly Martin? Hey, Larry, I just left Dennis and Toya house watching that fight, boy. Hell yeah, third shift up on deck. Yeah. I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna go live, but I was like, man, I ain't been on since what? Wednesday or Thursday or whatever that was. Yeah, what's up, Tara Campbell? Seattle up in there. What's up, Seattle? Y'all still raining up there? It look like LA's done with the heavy rain. Finally, shit. Me and Larry live at the Comedy Chateau next Saturday. That's a week from tonight. Get your motherfucking tickets, people. That's us, like, yeah. I must say this. Y'all see the thumbnail, right? I told you niggas before the show, before the fight, what round, I said Tank is gonna knock out Ryan Garcia between the 7th and 9th round. Right again. Let's see what have I been right so far on this week in sports. I was right when I said Russell Westbrook wasn't the problem. I was right about this. Hell yeah. What's up, Louisiana in the building? Yeah. Tank was too much for that boy, man. Too much. Ryan Garcia is an Instagram fighter. He's not the real deal. Larry, dog, I'll fold you like a blanket, boy. Like, people in the chat room, me and Larry in the head-up fade. Press the number 1 if you think I knock Larry Goodwell out. Press the number 2 if you think I knock Larry Goodwell out, but it takes at least 8 rounds. And press number 3 if you think it'll take me 12 rounds to knock out Larry Goodwell. Those are your 3 options. Either I knock him out in the 1st round, I knock him out in the 8th round, or I knock him out in the 12th round. Which one? Okay, Aaron said number 1. I agree with that. 1, yeah, 1? Yeah, okay. It ain't no 4, bitch. It's only 1 through 3. Yeah, see, yeah, it's a whole bunch of 1s. Yep. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. No, calm down. I really don't understand how y'all can not see through Terence Crawford's bullshit. Like I started seeing through Terence Crawford's bullshit back in 2018. I don't see how y'all can see Terence Crawford literally have a fight set up with Errol Spence in December and then choose to fight a bum instead. And then they turn around and have the fight set up for June 17th. And Terence Crawford for the life of me, I do not understand, I get rooting for a fighter. Like, I'm all for, you're a fan of a fighter. I get it. But just watching how somebody move, y'all ain't been, do you actually pay attention to how Terence Crawford moves? Back in 2018, he could have had that fight lined up with Errol Spence, but he chose to re-sign with Bob Arum. Bob Arum told Terence Crawford that he's not going to put the money up for him to fight Errol Spence. And Terence Crawford in 2018 re-signed with Bob Arum anyway, even though Arum told him he won't do it. I can't even get mad at the white boy Bob Arum. Bob Arum said, I could have bought a house in Beverly Hills with the amount of money that I spent on Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford still re-signed with him. And then Terence Crawford finally gets independent of Bob Arum, has the fight lined up with Errol Spence, and chooses to fight some fucking bum instead. He literally had the fight lined up for December. The fight was supposed to be like December 5th or something like that. And Terence Crawford said, nah, let me fight this bum instead. And y'all still buy into that cat? I don't get it. He's independent and still fought a bum in December. And he, like I said, they had the fight lined up for June 17th, my birthday. And Terence still didn't sign, and he's independent. He's had 2 chances to sign to fight Errol Spence as an independent fighter, and both times he reneged. This nigga Terence Crawford is a renigga. That's what he is. Hey, Patrick Tyson, are you slow? How can you say that doesn't discount anything? No disrespect. This ain't no disrespect. This is using like logic. Let's put everything to the side. Emotions, which fighter you like, put all that to the side. You got 2 fighters who can fight each other. One fighter says, you know what? Even though I'm in one of those 2 fighters, when there's a time for them to fight, one fighter is only negotiating with one fighter. The other fighter is negotiating 2 fights at the same time. Errol Spence is only negotiating with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is negotiating with Errol Spence and some nobody fighter with Black Prime at the same time. And then when Terence Crawford's numbers was met, everything he said he wanted was given to him, and he still chose to sign to fight the weird, out of nowhere, nobody ever heard from fighter. Who's running from who? Fuck who you like. just think. I don't care. I don't believe in telling people what to think. I just say think. Think. Just think. I don't care what you think. You could say, I believe. You could say, you know what? Fuck all that. I still think Terence Crawford is going to beat Errol Spence's ass. And you know what I'm going to say? Okay, he probably will. I don't know. If that's just your preference, like, okay, yeah. Fuck all that. Terence Crawford is still going to beat up Errol Spence. I will never argue with you over that. I'll be like, okay, because that's your point of view. That's your opinion. That's fine. I firmly believe people should have their points of views and opinion, and you and I can disagree over who we think is going to win a fight. That's fine. That's fair. What's not fine, what's not fair, is when one fighter has had a handful of opportunities to fight the other fighter over the last 5 years, and each time he had the chance to fight the other fighter, he chose to do something different. At that point, you just got to be like, all right, man, okay. Because it's not like you the person that chose not to fight Errol Spence. I'm sure if it was you, you would have fought him. If it was you, if you were in Terence Crawford's position, I'm sure you would have fought him. But you ain't Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford had 3 different opportunities and each time he chose to fight somebody else. That's not the business. That's not even the business side. That was just Terence Crawford's choice. That was like, all right, The business was when Al Heyman and Bob Arum were in that Cold War. That was legit. That really was legit. You know, nothing. There was nothing Terence Crawford nor Errol Spence could have done about that. That was legit. That's the business of boxing. I'm not even talking about the business of boxing when. I'm not even talking about that. There was a period where you're right. Al Heyman and Bob Arum were not fighting their fighters against one another. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the times that those two people were not in the way. And it was a chance for a head-up fade. That nigga Terence Crawford. This I believe. This I look at it like this. I can believe it. I believe in people until they stop believing in themselves. I'm only going to believe in somebody as far as they believe in themselves. And it got to be something with Terence Crawford to where he doesn't believe in himself at a certain level. Because at 147 pounds, he been fighting trash cans. At 140, he fought the competition. But at 147, he either fought them after Spence whooped their ass or just a flat-out trash can. What's up, Deli Dale? All right. I'm totally off that Crawford Spence fight. I'm totally off that fight. Like, that fight's never going to happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be like the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. Shit should have happened 5 years ago. I'm off Terence Crawford. The fight I want to see is Tank versus Devin Haney. That's the fight I want to see. Tank versus Haney. I want to see a round robin between Tank, Lomachenko, Haney, and what's the other gap tooth boy? What's the other boy? He fought last week. What's his name? The little mushroom head kid. What's his name? The little mushroom head little motherfucker. Shakur Stevens. Yeah, Shakur. I want to see a round robin of 4. Those are 4 fighters right there that could really have a good next 3 to 5 year run fighting each other. That's what I want to see. If I could do anything for the next 3 to 4 years, and then for the next 2 to 3 years, a round robin between Lomachenko and of course Lomachenko is going to lose all the fights. But a round robin between Lomachenko, Tank, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevens. Like, Shakur should fight Lomachenko next, and Haney should fight Tank. And then the winner of that fight the winner of Shakur versus Loma, and the loser fight the loser. That'll be a good fight. All right, Loma ain't shit. I'm cool on Loma too, Positive Influence. I'm cool on Loma too. But I want to see Loma get his ass whipped. That's why I threw him in that. Because they really tried to hype Lomachenko up and make him the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter when he's only like 8-0. You know, I'm cool on Loma too, but it would be great to see him get his ass whooped 3 times in a row. That's why I threw him up in that tournament. Because look, if Loma's not in that tournament, you know how ESPN work. They'll let them niggas fight each other and beat each other up, and then then let Lomachenko fight trash cans, and then say he's the number 1 in that division. And then they'll do what the WBC did a couple years ago when they created that bullshit ass franchise championship out of nowhere. That's what they would do. If Loma wasn't in that round table, they would let them niggas beat each other into an inch of life, and then still say Lomachenko's number 1 pound for pound, even though Lomachenko's fighting bartenders and Uber drivers. So put him in that tournament and let us all watch him get his ass whooped. How about that, goddammit? How about that? And I want to see Canelo fight the Charlos. Canelo really started this shit right here, this cherry picking shit. And I know it's gonna be somebody that comes in the video later on and be like, man, Floyd did it. Shut the fuck up. Floyd Mayweather, when he was in his 20s, fought everybody. When he was in his prime, when he was in his prime years, he fought every number one challenge there was to fight. Anybody who had a belt, anybody. Floyd tried to fight Costa wouldn't let it happen. Floyd tried to fight Shane Mosley 3 years before he actually fought Shane Mosley. He tried to fight Oscar De La Hoya 4 years before he actually fought Oscar in way different weight divisions. Floyd started cherry picking as he got into his mid-30s, late to mid-30s. And I'm not going to, look, if a fighter's 35 years old, I'm not going to really shit on them for cherry picking if when they were 25, they were fighting the best of the best. You know what I mean? Floyd cherry picked in his 30s when he was past his prime. Canelo cherry picked all throughout his 20s. Canelo cherry picked his best years. Fuck Canelo Alvarez. What's up, AJ? You're right. Floyd doesn't nobody. You're right. He fought the drunken master. Emmanuel, man, I miss Emmanuel Augustus. See, good job, Positive Influence. You brought up Emmanuel Burton Augustus. Emmanuel Augustus Burton, whichever one was the last name. But man, sometimes he'll go by Emmanuel Burton, sometimes he'll go by Emmanuel Augustus. But for those of you who like boxing, if you like boxing, man, turn it on USA Tuesday Night Fights or ESPN Friday Night Fights in the 90s and in the early 2000s. For those of you who don't know, and I want y'all to look him up, it was a man named Emmanuel Augustus. Look up his highlights. And look, that nigga Emmanuel Augustus will get into pop locking and breakdancing in the middle of the ring and start fucking people up. Emmanuel Augustus lost a lot of fights on the scorecards because them white judges didn't like the way he clowned in the ring. I mean, there'll be fights where Emmanuel Augustus would just literally obliterate his opponent and still lose the fight on the scorecards because the judges didn't like when he started dancing. Yeah. And like tonight's fight with Tank, the reason why I knew Tank would win so easily is because of the Leo Santa Cruz fight. I remember Leo Santa Cruz being a lot taller than Tank too. And Leo got hands, and Leo was boxing. Ryan Garcia never really he wasn't ready for Tank. Like he's been getting good matchups put in front of him. He's been the beneficiary of great matchmaking by Oscar De La Hoya. And he's been the beneficiary of great matchmaking. I knew he wasn't gonna fuck with no Tank. Cause one thing about Tank, and Tank don't get credit for it, I think because he's a light-skinned nigga that can't speak clear. You know, let's just tell the truth. This nigga Tank Davis does not talk like your everyday light-skinned nigga. That nigga talks like a Baltimore 6-year-old that'll shoot your ass and then beat your ass after he shoots you. Somebody said I'm lighter than he is. No, you've never met. I'm lighter than Tank. What are you talking about? Don't let these TV, what you see images across the TV screens fool you. I'm not nowhere near lighter than Tank. The hell is you watching? What kind of filter are you watching your YouTube with? This nigga. You must be watching what? You must be watching one of those old Magnavox floor model TVs. Them big ass TVs that took both of your uncles to lift up to get up outside the house. I'm lighter than Tank. The fuck? I ain't never heard no shit. I ain't never heard no shit. Hey, 100% Rock Podcast said, you probably think I'm smaller than Tank too. Hey, bruh, if you got a point to make, just make your point. You don't. When you say shit like, I'm lighter than Tank, then if you had a good point to make after that, nobody, like literally nobody's going to listen to that point. What's the name? Tejada, you may have very well had a good point. I'm not saying whatever your point, I don't even know your point now. But whatever point you're trying to make was probably a good point. But when you try to say some shit like, I'm lighter than Tank Davis, whatever you had to say after that, anybody with two eyes that can see in color probably ain't gonna listen to what you gotta say after that. Only people who gonna listen to what you gotta say after that are gonna be the colorblind. Even the colorblind can see shades. Anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Tank Davis does not speak like your everyday light-skinned nigga. That motherfucker has horrible grammar. So because he speaks so stupid, people think that he's stupid. People think that he's stupid. Somebody said everybody wants to be dark till the cops show up. God damn. Can we play these till the cops show up? Cliches down, please. Can we just stop that? Like, black people live 99.999999999% of their lives without ever interacting with police officers. Chill. Even when we do deal with the cops, they're around for a few minutes or a little, whoever, then you back to living your life. Niggas always want to equate everything black with police behavior and police activity, and these are the kind of niggas that will vote a politician in based on prison reform and not look at any of the other destructive policies within that politician's agenda. He gonna fix prison reform. These niggas, boy. But people think Tank is stupid because Tank talks stupid. And Tank is easily one of the smartest fighters I have ever seen fight. Like, I've always thought Tank was smart. But again, going back to that Leo Santa Cruz fight, what was that 3 years ago, 2020? Man, it was that Leo Santa. Oh yeah, it was that Leo Santa Cruz. It was Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz. That was a fight party I had here at the crib with Slink, Teddy Ray, everybody. Larry was out here. What's up, Aboriginal? Amerigal. But Tank is extremely smart. That, like, people get fooled. That's one thing about, that's why I like fucking with you surface level motherfuckers. People to see a surface level thing about someone and think because that surface level thing exists, it turns around everything about that person. It's like, I don't expect Tank to speak proper English. That motherfucker is a born fighter. Boy. And Tank knows how to use his feet and position himself and time you When Ryan Garcia got to throwing all willy-nilly in the second round, I was like, oh, he about to catch this nigga. And then boop. Man. And he saw the way them judges was trying to cheat. Them judges wanted to give that fight to Ryan Garcia. Go look and see what the judges had the second round scored as. The second round, Ryan Garcia came out throwing a whole bunch of wild ass punches. Wasn't none of them hoes landing. Tank just timed him, then whop, knocked him on his ass. And one judge made that a 10-10 round, even though Tank knocked down Ryan Garcia. Judge made it a 10-10 round. And then the other two judges made it a 10-9 round. Like, all Ryan Garcia did was throw a bunch of punches and did none of them hoes land. And he still got a 10-10 round when he got his ass knocked to the ground. Them judges was trying to throw him the fight. Yeah, they wanted Garcia to win that. This nigga. You better get that retarded juice out your head. So this nigga Tank, boy. This nigga Tank. Tank is smart as fuck. Playing those angles. And then people were like, well, Ryan Garcia's fast. He got fat. Look, fast don't mean shit when the other person you fighting got timing. Niggas, that was Gary Russell's thing. Like before Gary Russell got messed up, when Gary Russell was at his best, Gary Russell used to throw them punches like pistons. But Gary Russell only had one speed. And the minute he fought somebody that can time his speed, yeah, Garcia knows what's bleeding. Yeah, that motherfucker Tank. Then when Tank hit him in the Tank knocked that motherfucker. Tank made that nigga's lungs have an earthquake. This nigga Ryan Garcia's lungs shook around in his body. Like, I think Tank knocked one of Ryan Garcia's ribs into his lungs the way he... Like, Ryan Garcia is in great shape. He's only 135 pounds. He ain't got an ounce of fat on him. But when Tank threw that left into his ribs, go back and watch the video. That nigga Ryan Garcia's back shook. Like, this nigga ain't got no meat, no fat on his back. And the little skin on his back that he had jiggled like a motherfucker. I was like, how do you hit a nigga so hard to where his back jiggle? I ain't never seen nobody weigh 135 pounds have their back jiggle. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he broke a rib, Gambino. I would not be surprised. I ain't never seen a nigga weigh 135 pounds back jiggle. I can see if a big nigga like me back jiggle. 135 pounds? Your back shouldn't jiggle. This nigga bitch what he say knocked the pico de gallo out of Garcia. and Ryan Garcia from my city, LA, man. But even though Ryan Garcia is from my city, LA, I'm gonna support black first, always. Which leads me to my second point. Who are you niggas picking Ryan Garcia? I don't know about y'all social media, but especially like on my Facebook, I saw like so many black dudes that just couldn't wait to pick Ryan Garcia. Like, boxing, all sports is racist. But boxing is the most racist sport out there as far as pulling for who you pulling for. People solely pull by race, ethnicity, and country in boxing. If it's opposing countries, people are going to go for their country first until the black person's involved. Then they're going to go for the white guy, or the least black person in the ring. Boxing's all about race, and every race gets together to celebrate niggas losing fights. And even if I don't like a nigga like me, I'm not a big Terence Crawford fan anymore. I used to be a huge Terence Crawford fan until I peeped this game about 5 years ago. I used to be a huge Terence Crawford fan. Them Omaha fights on HBO back in 2013, 2015. I loved Terence Crawford up until I peeped this game around 2018. That's when I was off Terence Crawford. But even with me being off Terence Crawford, if Terence Crawford fights a Mexican or a white person or an Asian or anybody non-black, I'm rooting for Terence Crawford, even though I don't fuck with Terence Crawford. Them Charlo twins, I used to be huge fans of the Charlo twins, but one of them Charlo, the younger Charlo, be on some coon shit. Straight up coon shit. I remember when Deontay Wilder was going through his back and forth with Tyson Fury. He jumping in on all that, jumping in on that taking the white boy side, and then saying, I don't see race. Race don't matter, basically. So ever since I seen Charlo they start talking about broke, and then one time he's talking about broke ass niggas. You broke ass niggas. I'm like, nigga, broke ass niggas is buying your fights. Matter of fact, I went to go see Charlo fight when the Tony Harrison rematch. When Charlo fought Tony Harrison on that rematch, I went to that fight. So to hear him talk about his black fans like that, I wasn't cool with. But if them coon ass Charlo brothers fought a white boy or anybody else, I'm pulling for the nigga every time. That's an interesting point of view, Aboriginal Amerigal. That was an interesting point of view you just said. Yeah. I'm gonna consider what you just said, Amerigal. I'm gonna consider what you said and keep that in my mind. Just kind of marinate on that. I didn't see it like that, so I don't really have any words for it right now. But I will say what you just said was very interesting. But yeah, when my people are fighting, like boxing is a racist sport. I don't like, and it's always niggas that be like, man, it ain't about race. All right, go ahead. All right, niggas is taking like, right? I'm like, yo, and I know why niggas do that. It's too many, especially black men. Niggas love showcasing for white people, especially in sports. And it's usually hood niggas too. Most of the time it be them hood niggas. Not all, but most likely. You would think it'd be them college preppy niggas. Nah. A lot of them hood niggas be the main ones. Or not, the niggas that's from the hood, they be the main ones tap dancing for white people. Yeah, Kingsbury. Biz Marti said he personally 6-0 against Mexico. Nigga, Biz Marti is talking about Mexican restaurant bathroom toilets. Like, no matter how dirty them toilets was in Mexican restaurants, Biz Marti is 6-0, dropping off deuces in dirty bathrooms at taqueria places. Nigga, but But nah, niggas love showcasing. And it be like it be certain fights. Even if I think the white boy or the Mexican's gonna win, I don't say shit. I don't say shit. I knew when Canelo fought Danny Jacobs, I was like, I knew Danny Jacobs could beat Canelo, but I was like, they ain't gonna let Danny Jacobs beat Canelo. But I never said it. I never was like, man, Jacobs can't beat. Man, ain't nowhere in hell. It ain't nowhere in hell, Danny Jacobs. No, I figured. I was like, is there a chance Danny Jacobs can beat Canelo? But I knew because Canelo Alvarez fought Danny Jacobs after the cancer. Danny Jacobs was never the same when he got back in the ring after having cancer. And the same with James Kirkland. It's funny how James Kirkland was only at his best when he had Ann Wolfe in his corner. When James Kirkland didn't have Ann Wolfe as his trainer, when she wasn't in the ring with him, James Kirkland wasn't the same fighter. Anytime when James Kirkland was in his prime, and mind you, James Kirkland was never a top black fighter. He was always a B-level fighter. But when he was with Ann Wolfe, he was a tough out. But without Ann Wolfe, he always got his ass whooped. So when both James Kirkland and Danny Jacobs both fought Canelo Alvarez, I was like, okay, Canelo's picking black folks that he knows he can beat and that aren't at their best, especially Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, yeah, Devontae's trainer was a female, a black woman boxer named Ann Wolfe. She's a good trainer. And it was just, she had a good chemistry with James Kirkland. James Kirkland, when she wasn't training him, he got his ass knocked out. But when she trained him, he was on point. And the fight when he fought Canelo, she wasn't training him. But even then, James Kirkland was way too small to be fighting. He was way too small for Canelo. There's no way in hell he should have been in that ring with him. I thought his Ronnie Lara beat Canelo. But going back to Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs fought Canelo after returning from having cancer. I knew he wasn't going to beat him. Just on the strength, I don't think he can go 12 rounds with Canelo. I never said it. I never was like, man, I got Canelo this fight, man. I would either say, man, James Kirkland's going to whoop that boy. Or I wouldn't. Most of the time, I don't want to lie. I wouldn't say nothing at all. I'd just be like, I'll see. When people was like, Dwan, who you think gonna win? James Kirkland or Canelo? I'd be like, I see, man. I think I'm going for Kirkland. I would just say I'm going for Kirkland. I'm going for Danny Jacobs. I'm going for him. That's what you do. But a lot of these niggas, no, man. Can't wait to be contrarian against other niggas. You niggas is weird, bro. I swear to God. Y'all kind of dudes, y'all weird. Straight up. Weird. See what's going on. And you still act that way. Did LeBron get a blowout or the Lakers? That's why. I didn't watch the Laker game because I was watching the fight. That's why in game one, I saw people giving credit to LeBron for the Lakers winning game one. And I watched that whole game. Remember, I live announced that game. That's the game I had. That was the game I live announced. And Austin Reeves in that what's his name? Hashimura. What's that motherfucker name? Hashimura? That's that nigga name on Lakers? Sukiyaki Hockey Su. That motherfucker hit like 8 3-pointers. And the nigga was like, man, LeBron won that. I was like, yo, that Japanese nigga won it for the Lakers and a white boy. Well, actually, they didn't even win. They won it as a team. And LeBron most definitely played a big part in the Lakers winning that game. I'm not going to take away from it. But the karate nigga is the one that won that fight. That was most. And the niggas on ESPN was like, LeBron won a fight. I'm like, man, ESPN, Nick Wright, especially Nick Wright. I can't stand that Nick Wright motherfucker. That's why I don't be watching these sports shows no more, man. Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, those are some of the worst ever. Yeah, Bruce Leroy won that one, yeah. You said Memphis only had 9 points in the first quarter? Shit. Memphis only had 9 points? Yeah, you ain't gonna win a playoff game scoring them 9 points in a quarter. Hey, who is this Tejada dude in 420 in the chat room? What kind of weed? Nigga, does your weed have inkjet stains on it where it's fucking your eyes up? And what's up with you in this skin tone thing, Tejada? God damn. Is you Mexican with that name? If you Mexican, you shouldn't even be talking about skin tone with a black person. Leave your Latino lies out of this conversation, buddy. Got this Latino nigga over here trying to talk about skin tone. And Chris Broussard, that motherfucker. And he ought to be talking about Jesus and shit. Y'all don't like Chris Broussard's like a preacher. Chris Broussard's like a preacher, too. That nigga be talking about Jesus and shit. Chris Broussard look like a set of pig nuts. Chris Broussard be like, and LeBron had 2 points in the first 17 seconds of 39 games last year. And LeBron had 60 rebounds over the last 14 games. That Chris Broussard boy, shit. I couldn't stand watching that nigga on TV. I'm so glad I don't watch them sports shows no more, man. I am so glad. I used to watch First Take and Pardon the Interruption, and then I would read ESPN.com. And I remember there was a time in my life where I would read what these niggas said and get really pissed off. Like the old Skip Bayless columns back in the old 2004 years of ESPN. I remember when I used to watch back when First Take was called Cold Pizza. And they used to always like just, they always found a way to like, you know, slight players like T-Mac that I like. They always find a way to slight Vince Carter back in the day. I was a huge Vince Carter fan back in the day. And I would get mad watching that shit. Like, and then one day I looked up and thought, and it was like, First off, this is all TV entertainment contrived bullshit anyway. Let's just start with that. Second, just say it's all real. And just say these players or these announcers actually do feel that way. Even if they do feel that way, it's still just somebody's opinion. Who's the greatest player of all time? That's just somebody's opinion. Who should be the MVP? That's just somebody's opinion. That's all. Then I stop letting that shit make me mad. Yeah, Colin Cowherd's a bigot. Yes. Colin, man, most of them announcers is racist as fuck. Let me tell y'all something. Most of the sports announcers, these people that became sports writers and sports announcers because they really wanted to play and they couldn't. And a lot of these white boys are extremely envious and jealous of the talent our brothers have out there in that court. Same with boxing. They're extremely jealous of the talent and how good we are. So they realize they can't beat us in the ring. They can't beat us on the basketball court. But where they can beat us is with their ink pen. Think about that for a second. They can't beat us on the court, but they can beat us with the pen. And that's how it works. Nigga says sports writers are underachievers. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it. Nigga says sports writers are underachievers. Oh, shit. But yeah, I'm gonna watch some basketball tomorrow. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. About to get up out of here. I got a lot to do tomorrow. But I'll be back live with y'all tomorrow. I might do another late night live from the porch tomorrow night. Well, no, I gotta be up at 5 in the morning Monday for my workout. No. I'll be with y'all live sometime tomorrow. Yeah, peace and blessings. And again, get tickets for the live show on Saturday. Don't forget your motherfucking tickets. Yeah, I'm gonna get my cake soap. I'm gonna get some cake soap. And I'm gonna get my cake soap. And me and your auntie gonna take a bath together with it. And we gonna both come out looking like Sammy Sosa. Like I said, Nick's game's on. Yeah, Nick. No, I have a 10 a.m. car reading tomorrow. My first car reading session is at 10 in the morning tomorrow, LA time. So I was gonna go live with y'all in the morning, but like I said, I gotta read cards. And I got a meeting in the middle of the day tomorrow. I may go live for the last game of the day. If it's time, I may go live for the last game of the day if I can. I'll holler at y'all.